All right, we are back for a Friday financial wrap with Mr. Michael Zuber. How are you, Michael?
I'm doing well, man. I love these conversations. These are so much fun for me.
I love it too. It helps me stay on track. This is for March the 29th, 2024. We're actually recording this on Thursday. So we just want to acknowledge that because there's a piece of news tomorrow we'll talk more about. But let's get into the show. Graham Stephan, the guy is an absolute YouTube celebrity. If people don't know, tell us about Graham Stephan this week.
So I don't know if people have seen Graham Stephan. He did a kind of self-reflection video about 30 minutes. He released it last night. I watched it entirely this morning, and where he kind of shared his story, kind of talked about what's going on in his life. It is really Graham Stephan just being authentic. And what really was cool is I got a sneak peek of this about 2 months ago when I interviewed Graham Stephan in the Iced Coffee Hour studio. The video's on my channel. I actually reposted it Thursday evening. And he talks about Graham Stephan working at the fish store, the coral store. He talks about him becoming an agent. He talks about all of this. And as you can see at the end of the video, um, Graham is a workaholic. He gets super, super focused and unbalanced. And when I saw Graham just talk to the camera authentically this morning, I was very proud of him. I was very happy to see what I saw in my conversation with him. And I just want to wish him the best. I think he's an amazing individual. Anybody that asks me, I tell him he is just the best person. And I think Graham will become more balanced and happier. And surprisingly, I think he will be even more impactful. I think he got so laser focused on just being a machine that he lost some of that joy. And I just wanted to acknowledge that someone we all deem as super successful, even us, we could get wrapped in a flywheel and lose sight of what's really important. And I just wanted to start off this video by applauding Graham, by wishing them the best. And if he ever watches this, letting him know that I want to buy one of his pieces of artwork. He flashed some of his artwork at the end of the video. I'm like, dude, I want to buy one of those. So Graham, hit me up. I texted you and emailed you already. So sell me one of your art pieces. Come on.
I love it. I love it. And I got to say too, you shared with me just kind of off camera and you and I talking personally as friends about how impactful and how this guy's the real deal. I also too, I want to compliment and connect to you in that I think Graham's success is because he's so authentic and genuine, and which is exactly, I think that's why you vibe so well, or kind of why you're so, like pro Graham Stephan is because that's who you are. You're so
Yeah.
authentic and genuine.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I really do. And again, I'm nowhere. I mean, the reason Graham Stephan is special is because he can focus on one thing, and he chose to focus on YouTube, the algorithm, and all the analytics, and just constantly tweak, 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 and that's why he got 1 million subs so fast. That's why he's got 4 million now, and kudos to him. He
Yep.
chose something that really worked. And again, I really do believe that over the next year, Graham Stephan himself will be happier. And I do believe with every fiber in my body, he will be more impactful. And
Yep.
I don't know if people can really connect the dots. He's going to post less, but dude, he's going to be happier. And when he's happier, it will be more impactful. So
Good.
I wish
Yeah.
I wish him all the best.
Couldn't agree with you more. I'm excited to see that. I'm going to actually go ahead, not seen that video, so I'm going to watch that today as well. So let's continue. So tomorrow, Friday, we are recording this on Thursday. I've said that already, but tomorrow we have the PCE reading. What is PCE? And then what do you see? What's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah. So PCE is again is personal consumption expenditure. It was, if people remember, the first inflation reading. I think it was a month, maybe 2 months ago, that came in hotter than expected. It has started a trend of hotter than expected inflation readings. PCE, the one number, because we'll get PCE headline, PCE core, PCE month on month and year on year, is to watch PCE core month on month. It is expected to come in at zero point 0.3. If that comes in hot, meaning zero point 0.4, problem, problem. If it comes in zero point 0.3 as expected, no big deal. If it comes in at 0.2, we're all good. But there's a real chance that this trend of being hotter than expected continues. And if you are someone that's hoping for rate cuts, that's probably not going to go in your favor. So that's the number I'm watching tomorrow. PCE core, will it be above 0.3 month on month?
Okay. I'm going to come back to this because when you say it's trouble and that, and I kind of have an idea where we're going about interest rates. So I'm going to ask and I'm going to tee that up for everybody. Stay to the very end. I'm going to really connect the dots on that specific thing on PCE and what we can expect if it is not, it comes in too hot. It's not, good news. So let's keep going though. Fed President Bostic, what did he say this week? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So again, we've got some Fed speak this week. We'll get a lot more next week. Fed President Bostic has cut his expectations for rate cuts. Previously, he thought there would be two. Now there will only be one. So we know which dot is his on the dot plot. He's the guy that thinks we will only have one. We didn't talk about this pre-wall, but Fed President Christopher Waller is also coming out this week and saying, hey, we are not in a rush to cut interest rates. Inflation is sticky. Job market is strong. So again, we are really seeing the Fed presidents walk a pretty fine line of higher for longer. No rush to cut. It is still interesting that the market expects three and the Fed is saying three. I think we're getting more and more Fed presidents to acknowledge that, you know what? It might be less than three, but we shall see.
Interesting. Very interesting. I think that PCE number is going to be a really big deal. Stay to
Big
the
number.
very end.
Big number. Yep.
Big number. Chief economist Ian Shepherdson. Who is he and what did he say this week that got your attention?
Yeah, so chief economist Ian Shepherdson, he's from Pantheon Macroeconomics. He first burst onto the scene with this one of the earliest economists to call what would become the housing crash. That's where he cut his teeth. That's where he made a call. He made it early and got it right. He is actually coming out saying the Fed is wrong. The Fed is flat out wrong. Ian is calling for 5 rate cuts. 5 rate cuts. We just talked about Waller and Bostic saying, no rush and only one. He's coming out saying 5. He's saying the labor market is going to start to crack in Q2, which, in case you're paying attention, starts Monday. Q2 starts Monday. Wow. Monday. Q1 is over. And he's saying that, we are going to get 5 rate cuts. Watch retail sales, watch layoff announcements. Ian Shepherdson, Pantheon Macroeconomics, 5 rate cuts are coming. So be careful what you wish for.
Very interesting. 5. Okay. And so potentially with 5 rate cuts as a follow-up question, then potentially he thinks maybe leaning closer to recession when he talks about jobs.
No question. Recession.
He's saying recession. Okay.
No, he is saying Q2 recession. Let's be clear. Yeah. Like Monday.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, again, a lot of uncertainty out there. Let's continue. New home sales. What did you see this week?
Yeah, this week was a bunch of housing information. New home sales, were up. Home sales prices were down. But again, folks, don't believe in the doomers and all of that nonsense. Builders are building smaller homes. This is a good thing. If you've heard my conversation with Lance Lamberts, they're going to be building smaller homes coming forward. Frankly, one of the ways to fix the housing market is even smaller homes. I am on record as saying that I hope the average square foot falls 5%. Last year, there was a record fall, and that was 3%. So I hope it's even bigger this year. But yeah, new home sales, builders know what to do. If they get rates down to 5.99, people buy. So they just do rate buy downs, work the system, and they're building smaller. So new home sales going well. And again, I think new home sales could be a sign of that rolling recession. One of the things that I'm on is we're going to have a rolling recession, right? Housing crashed first as far as transactions and activity. It pulls out when maybe manufacturing tech go in, a la never get a negative number, but we do have what's called a rolling recession. That's where my head's at currently.
Yeah. It's interesting too that new home sales are not anything near what they've been the last 30 years or the last 50 years.
Below. Yeah.
Yeah. The production numbers are still very, very low and tight. Is that pretty accurate?
Oh, dude. I mean, like if you go back to just like 06, we were building and selling like 1.2, 1.3. We're half that today.
Yeah. Interesting. Yep. So a broken housing market.
Somebody coined that. That person deserves a raise.
I think, Michael Zuber, a broken housing market. Speaking of, okay, let's talk about pending home sales. What did you see this week?
Yeah, so pending home sales came out Thursday morning. They exceeded expectations. They were one up 1.6 month on month. Expectations 1.5. Last month they were down 4.7. All I got to say, folks, rates matter.
It's
What
big,
happened last month? Rates spiked to 7. What happened this month? Rates went sub 7. Rates matter.
pretty
Above
clear.
7 bad, rates below 7 good. Sometimes it is that simple.
And not only that, but if you're new to the show, Michael has been talking about that. We've been talking about this for basically the last year, and especially the last 90 to 180 days, the last 6 months. I mean, it's
For
like we've
sure.
been beating this like a drum.
Absolutely.
So
And
cool.
we have been right together. Yep.
Yep, absolutely. Well, I just get to ride your coattails. So durable goods, durable goods. I'm smart enough to ride your coattails. Durable goods. What did you see this week?
Yeah, durable goods is not one we normally talk about. But as somebody who's looking for cracks in the system, recession, rolling recession, durable goods is one of those things I chose to look at this week. So first off, for the audience, because we haven't talked about it before, what is a durable good? A durable good is something you and I buy infrequently and typically lasts 3 years or more. Think TVs, think washing machines, think those kinds of things. So durable goods this week were up more than expected, and up quite significantly. And the reason that's important is if you have a scared consumer, durable goods is not something they will splurge on. They will keep the old TV. They will keep the old washing machine. But this month, durable goods were up over last month. Last month they were negative. They were down in January, so these were February numbers. But again, it's not this roll off a cliff. It's just another one of those numbers that say, you know what? Maybe we're going to have that rolling recession where some things are down while others are up. And I'm looking for the cracks. It called a recession, but maybe this rolling recession comes to be. I don't know.
Uh, Again, you've been talking about rolling recession for the last 18, 24 months. I had never even heard that term. And then it goes back to basically about what, 25, 30 years ago when we had in the
Yeah,
90s.
there was one. Again, I have an econ degree, so we study all of these things. And the one in the textbook they talked about was 98, 91. Really, I think they call
Yeah.
it the 91 recession.
Yep.
And it doesn't meet the textbook definition of a rolling recession, but it was the closest one in the last 50 years. I think there's a chance we have it just because of what we did with the M2 money supply, the fact that it's gone down or going negative. A rolling recession, I mean, its chances are up to like 30%. Like when
Interesting.
we first talked about it, I brought it up when I thought it was a 5% chance. We've got to be up to 30 or 35% chance. So it's not the base case, but it's certainly possible at this point.
Interesting. A lot to think about this week. Gosh, a lot to think
Yeah.
about. Let's continue. Case Schiller, who are they? What do they do? What
Rob,
did they say
Robert,
this week?
yeah, Robert Schiller, he won I don't know, won Nobel Prize for economics. He's a smart dude. He created the Case Schiller index. They basically reported on home prices, and home prices are up roughly 6% year on year. They were down negative 0.1 seasonally adjusted up 0.1. Basically, I think what's going to happen with Case Shiller going forward is it's just going to go flat, right? I think we're going to actually see Case Shiller start to report less positive numbers, meaning next month will be 5.7 and then 5.5 and then 5.3. I think, and I've said for a long time, we had 2 years of appreciation and now we have a decade or 5 to 6 years of sideways. So I think Case Shiller is going to start to report things like that.
Interesting. Now, I know we're going to talk about the show of Buying Vegas, but before we do, right? So, a lot of you know, some of you may not know, Michael has made a huge commitment of both time and energy and money. And so, he's doing a show. It's documenting the buy box, the process. We're going to talk about that. But before we do, interest rates. So, if
Yeah.
PCE comes in a little hotter, what happens to the 10-year? What happens to the 30-year? Do we go back up above? Do we tick above 7? What happens
I
next?
Yeah, so again, my prediction, my crystal ball says if we got a point 0.4 or higher on core PCE month on month, that would send the 10-year higher almost immediately. And there's a chance that 30-year mortgage rate goes above 7. I mean, it could be that quick and dramatic.
Yeah.
The 30-year mortgage would probably wouldn't get above 7 till Monday because there's a lag. But yeah, if core again, this is a big number.
Yep.
Core PCE month on month expected to be 0.3. If it's higher again, and it's the sixth hot number, watch out.
Yeah. And again, Michael's calling this. It's 10:52 a.m. on Thursday. You'll be watching this. As you're watching this, you're
Oh
probably
yeah,
watching it
I will
Friday
be
or
up
over the
early.
weekend.
Yeah, I'll be up
Yeah.
early.
So there we go. Let's finish strong with Buying Vegas, the show. What's going on, Michael?
Yeah, so we've successfully recorded episode 1. It's being sliced and diced. I hopefully will be sharing it with Ty in the next 48 hours. We've also executed the recording of day 2 with the great Lisa Sutton. We are getting line of sight to record video 3 with Sean on renting rooms, renting rooms, probably sometime in the middle of April. I am committed now to doing 6 episodes. So the first 3 are looking at the assets, like figuring out the assets. The next 3 we'll be going to visit properties. I think it's important to show people what we're looking at. I've also gone one step further thanks to Joe D. Joe D is a featured guest in episode 1. He was gracious enough to come back on and do a Zoom with me talking about my spreadsheet, my buy box. Why are we doing this? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? So we got all of that. And really the vision for Buying Vegas is to show a brand new investor how they could attack a brand new market as a total newbie. That's the vision. What I'm trying to do. How do you network? What do you ask? What kind of questions? What does doing the work mean? And Ty, you've helped me a lot. I believe that flipping shows and get rich quick, the old Tommy Vu's of the world, made real estate investing sexy. Nobody's made buy and hold sexy. In fact, Ty, I don't think you can make buy and hold sexy. But I believe there's a chance that we can make learning the market and networking sexy. Buy and hold can't be sexy because it's just boring. It's like watching
Right.
paint dry. But maybe, just maybe, we can do a 6-part series showing somebody how they can attack a brand new market, meet brand new people, and move forward. So that's what we're trying to do. That's the vision. I am spending time, money, energy, tapping network to try to bring people samples. So I look forward to launching it. It will be completely edited content. It's not going to be live like all my other stuff. So there will be production costs, and it's frankly more expensive than I imagined going in. But hey, I'm committed to doing 6 episodes. So we've got 2 in the can, and we'll be producing more going forward.
Super exciting. And I've got to say a couple things just to add to that is that making buy and hold sexy, right? So that was part of the thought process. The other thing though is that you're in one of the most competitive markets in the country. Like,
Yeah.
you take metros, you take Las Vegas, you put it up against Southern California, the Bay Area, other parts, big metro areas. This is a highly competitive market. And so it's not like we pick some easy
Yeah.
low
We're not going to
hanging
the
fruit.
Midwest. We're not going to
Yeah.
Gary, Indiana. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Michael really took this challenge on. And so I got to say, I'm super excited to see the first revisions. Super excited for everybody, the audience, the community, folks. If you see value in today's show, if you're here right now listening, watching, please subscribe, like, share, and follow. It would mean the world. I know there's going to be another big party at 100,000 subscribers, so I'm looking forward to that. Folks, thank you for watching. Michael, any parting words?
No, the last thing I will want to tease is Ty and I are potentially doing a meetup in Vegas sometime in maybe the 3rd week of April. We haven't decided when and where and all of that. But if you are in Vegas and you might want to come along, leave a comment below. Let us know it would be worth our time.
Absolutely. We definitely are building an interest list. If you want to come to the meetup in Vegas, if you're in Vegas, again, in April, you can also email me, ty@tylg, to make sure to get added to the notification list. We want to capture your information. We want to stay in touch with you. But we're basically going to talk about the show. But specifically, if you're out there finding deals, we want to collaborate. We want to JV with you. Michael, thank you.
You got it, bud. Thanks.